tested a lot of different AI tools over these past couple months, and most of them absolutely suck, but these 6 I'm be sharing with you guys in this video actually helped increase my close rate. I've been using them for a couple months and I can actually vouch for them. And I totally understand there's 1,001 different new AI tools coming out every single day in the marketplace, and most of them are just repetitive. They do the exact same thing and they don't really have much competitive advantage. But like I said, for these past couple months, I've been using these specific tools in my sales process, and I have been able to see data that has been resulted in better deal flow, better close rate, better quality of customers, and better outreach. This goes deeper than ChatGPT and just basic copywriting and everything like that. Let's hop straight into the video.
So if you're anything like me, you've been on the market trying to find a decent AI caller that can actually role play with you. And we always make the mistake as salespeople that whenever we close for our business or another business, we have to learn in a very, very slow way. And that's a huge mistake because it costs ad spend money or outreach money to get the actual prospect on the sales call. And by the time you actually get them on the sales call and you don't close them, that's an expensive mistake. So you can avoid all that using Hyperbound. You obviously can come in here, you can book a demo with them, or you can actually role play with them back and forth, whether you sell in the pharmaceutical industry, staffing and recruiting industry, professional services, insurance, financial services, whatever it is. I would probably go for like something that's more marketing services. Then you'd select the role play call, warm call, discovery call, demo call, renewal call, whatever it is. And so you can actually test out these different personas, see what works with emotional states, different languages, things like that. You can actually go back and forth with them. If it wasn't for this tool, you won't be able to not necessarily just go back and forth with an AI, but go back and forth with an AI that is industry specific for your specific needs, and that can actually understand what you're saying and the vernacular that you're using within the actual industry instead of just having basic keywords that you're going over again and again. But again, all of that practicing is completely useless if you don't get the customer profile that you need on the phone, whether it's for you, your own business, or a business you're working for, a company you're working for. Everybody knows the extreme importance of having a proper customer profile. If you guys go to findemail.com and you go to the Intel match, and you can actually see different searches and prospects and companies based off what they actually do. For instance, if you put in the refined search bar accounting software for freelancers in the US, it'll give you a litany of searches that you can actually use to then source and scrape your leads and data from. This helps you in a way because you just have to prompt the AI. This helps you in a way of targeting. This helps you in a way of getting the right people on the phone. For instance, we'll click on one of the first couple of links that pop up here. You can see produce financials fast. These help out any freelancer in the US with accounting software, okay? And so we're targeting this. It's US based. You can add in prompts to Find Email, B2B SaaS with EU, in the EU with more than 200 employees, okay? Again, if you're going after, maybe you're a marketing agency, maybe you're providing some sort of outreach services or paid ad services, or, you're recently going after bootstrap software or SaaS companies, whatever it is, and you give it this prompt, it'll give you the exact company based on what they do. And you can find out companies this way. And this is an extremely easy tool to use. You can get around it very simply put. And obviously I'm not European, so I can't read some of these languages, but again, you prompt it however you want to. This is very, very, very abstract to whatever your needs are. And obviously the issue with most lead databases is you'll give it a generic segment of the market to go after, and it'll probably give you 10 to 15,000 leads that are generically matching the customer profile that you want to speak to. When in reality, if we utilize AI and we prompt it in a certain way, it gives us a much more hyper-targeted result. It's something that we have been able to utilize in our own outreach and our own outbound on a consistent and daily basis, and you should too. And again, before you even get the prospect on a phone call, you have to be able to outreach to them somehow. So no matter how much practice you have with mock AI, no matter how many, perfect customers you source utilizing AI, how do you get them on the phone? And when you cold email, and this brings us into our third point, cold email personalization. We're using Octave here, Octave Lite, to actually customize our profile and actually send out outreach messages or craft outreach messages to be sent out to our prospects. So when we prompt this AI, we give it a description, okay? We give it a description of what we actually need. And so for instance, if I'm a marketing agency or a marketing company, we're saying we need to access proven outreach systems that B2B companies actively using. We have to understand how to practically integrate AI into their operations and grow the business that way. We have to demonstrate to the customer, to the prospect with this cold email that if we implement our outreach infrastructure, we'll be able to support their growth in B2B. So in business to business growth, we'll be able to get them more opportunities, more appointments, more demos, more sales meetings, more intros, more pipeline, whatever it looks like specifically for you or your company's needs. That's how it is applied. And so Octave does a really good job at addressing the challenges that you might actually face when you're outreaching to your ideal customer profile. And it does a really good job listing out your customer benefits, telling you the capabilities of what might be able to hold you back as a caution, but also where you can shine and where you can use leverage as well. Okay. So it's going to tell you all this stuff. You can go into the library, you can go through playbooks, you can play around with this cold outreach. For us right here, this is what we're doing. We're currently using this. You can actually add in your exact offer and your personas. So for instance, going after, I don't know, BDRs, director of business representatives, COOs, founders, whatever it is for you, that's what it is for me. And our offering, obviously I have it customized for cold outreach because that's what we do. And then we have some use cases as well and how it can help. So this will give us our value props. So it'll tell you exactly who to go after for the founders and how, the value prop would focus for a founder. So for instance, an early stage founder, they're pressured by volume outreach and competitors. And they're always doing spray and pray techniques because they're founders, they're antsy, they want to get themselves off the ground. And we can kind of come in by saying, look, precision targeting matters. We're experts at this. Let me show you how to do this, especially as a founder who's only been in this game for about a year. We've specialized in this for the past 4 years, XYZ, XYZ. You can go on and craft your sales pitch from there. I highly recommend using Octave AI. It is an amazing tool that's been able to help prospecting completely. And this leads me into my next point. Over these past couple of years, I've been using Fathom AI to record every single one of my Zoom meetings on Zoom. It is hands down the best note taker. And the reason why it's so helpful is because when you get the prospect on the phone, things tend to go wrong on sales calls. Issues tend to happen. This is typical normal sales. You want to see where you got wrong. I've took hundreds and more hundreds of sales calls over these past couple of years. And it has been consistently same patterns that get fixed, and then same patterns come up, and then you fix those, and the new patterns, new unique things come up and you have to fix them. And this is everything that gets integrated into your sales process. You have to understand where your bottlenecks are. And this helps out with role playing as well, because you can feed the AI role play caller this information and some of the data and some of the transcript scripts to be able to then practice even better. So Fathom is a great AI note taker. This is absolutely essential for your business and to get better with sales and marketing. And again, as you guys know, capturing what happened on the call is only half the battle to learning. You need to be able to learn about what exactly went right and wrong in the call to be able to grow as a sales rep, as a BDR, as a business owner. Gong is a tool that we will list as number 5 because it allows you to get feedback. This is the biggest thing. It'll analyze your calls and it'll give you not just some random CRM that's white labeled and that everybody else can use, but it gives you an extremely targeted approach as to what went wrong with your calls. They have solutions for leadership, RevOps, sales, customer success, and enablement. And when you actually dive into any of these solutions, what you figure out is that you can learn from the actual AI itself. And so it helps you focus with summaries, emails, and coaching suggestions, which is probably the biggest payoff. And reps can spend more time closing, not documenting. If the majority of your time is spent on trying to analyze what exactly went wrong during the call, where tonality shift, where emotional things shift, where you got off balance, where you stopped sort of the sales dance and went into the sales person mode and tried to hard sell, this will actually analyze the patterns, the speeches, everything like that, and it'll tell you exactly where you go wrong. So that's number 5. I would highly recommend Gong. And lastly, my worst fear and nightmare that keeps me up every single week has to do with CRM cleanup. When data is wrong, when things are going wrong, when you have specific data that isn't exactly valid for your company, or maybe a prospect went cold or something like that, most CRMs don't do a good job of actually enriching data that is within the CRM itself. And clap.io probably, I would say, does the best job, is endorsed by a lot of different software companies that are top of the market currently, especially in the AI space. It does a good job of alerting different churn risks, CRM assessing deals, and creating sales and CS seamless handovers. This is extremely important because if you use Slack, if you use Notion, this integrates with all of these different tools. And it actually gives you predictive alert churn risk as well. If a customer has maybe gotten more dormant or something is going wrong with your pipeline or whatever issue that actually may come up, this does a good job of actually having an internal process of sort of being predictive of, hey, this might happen, and it keeps you on your toes. And that's exactly why I would recommend Cloud by Limlist. So again, those are just 6 ways that some of the top sales reps that I've seen that we're personally using are actually using to get ahead. And this is the main point of the video. If you're not utilizing AI, or you are, you might not be using it to its fullest extent. Every single day, different tools, different softwares, different markets are all popping up within the online space, and you have to stay on your toes and make sure that you're not getting distracted by them and chasing shiny objects. But you also want to make sure you have a bulletproof tool belt that will get you to where you want to go in sales, close more deals, get more pipeline, and book more meetings. All of those links are in the description below. Those tools you should check out. It's what we personally use over here at Find Email. I look forward to speaking with you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.